Tumbling. For me, it was always a sport that made me feel free. It gave me the thrills and excitement I craved in my life. And the rewards were endless. To me, tumbling hurt and felt great all at the same time. It frustrated me. It relieved me. It made me feel alive. It killed me. And I almost let that small fact that it killed me keep me down. November 11th, 2016 started off as just an ordinary Friday. I babysat my sister, got my hair cut, went shopping. A sudden change of plans, and my girlfriend and I found ourselves at Sky Zone to get some tumbling in. I remember that life was good because it was glow night. It was dark. There were LED lights lighting up the place. Music was bumping. If you've not been before, I want you to think it's galactic bowling, but instead of tossing the ball down the lane, you were doing backflips. It was about 9:30 at night when in the middle of a jump, a little girl ran under me and changed my life forever. She changed the game. What I remember is seeing a little girl no older than 6 with white baubles in her hair running under me. I instinctively made an attempt to not land on her and instead bailed to my back. That was the last moment of my normal life. At least the life I had come to think is normal. I was down. I was conscious. There was no pain, but I was down. My girlfriend thought I was joking. I remember her saying, "Just get up." She reached for my hand down to me. In response, I grabbed her hand and told her I couldn't. Slowly, I started losing my grip on her hand. Everything was shutting down. It took a full hour for the medics to get me out of there. Funny story, as I was being stretchered out, I started singing every Adele song I knew. I'm not even a fan of Adele. I think it just took my mind off the shock. I can still remember how eerie the passing of the streetlights were. I was freaking out because I couldn't find my girlfriend. At the time, my biggest concern wasn't that I was hurt. I wanted to know if she was okay. I remember worrying about what my tumbling coach was going to say. This happened right before a competition. These are the thoughts that came racing through my mind. It's a strange thing how the brain responds during these kinds of situations. Everything became a blur. I calmly asked an EMT if I'd ever walk again. I'll never forget what he said. He said, "I'm sorry, buddy. I can't determine that." I think that's when the magnitude of everything really hit me. This was big. I see a single light. I can hear the doctors talking. Then I finally open my eyes. I can see my parents. They are in the hallway talking to the doctor. My hearing is selective at this point, but I know what I'm hearing. He isn't walking again. He isn't eating again. He may not breathe on his own again. No way was I accepting that. Actually, when I got the news that I wouldn't walk again, I took it better than most. I think it's because I truly believe at the time, and I still do to this day, that I'm going to prove every doctor wrong. But before I could prove everyone wrong, I had to find a way to stay alive. I mentioned earlier how tumbling killed me, right? You're looking at a person that flatlined 5 different times during the first week. My heart cut out literally in response to the slightest movements. The worst one was the 5th time. My mom was with me and I could remember her screaming at me to not close my eyes, to keep fighting. That's something that is permanently etched into my brain. I'll never forget that. Think of it as being in a state just before you fall asleep. You feel relaxed, nothing hurts, and you can feel yourself drifting away. I welcome the feeling, but everyone there with me, my closest loved ones, doctors, nurses, they all knew I wouldn't have woken up. I stopped fighting. I accepted it. I was dead. 100% dead. Resuscitation wasn't an option. The odds of brain damage were too high. There weren't many options left. I'm not sure if it was pure luck or fate, or just a miracle, but there was a cardiologist on the duty. I was rushed to the OR, and he saved my life. He gave me a chance. Now that I have another chance, I'm making the most of it. I was 16 years old, and I had to relearn basic human skills. Last week, I turned 18, and I'm proud to say I can eat on my own. I can breathe on my own. I fought so hard, I even have enough moon back in my left arm to move this chair on my own. I want to tell you, my friends and my classmates, never give up. Always keep fighting. Don't make excuses. Never feel sorry for yourself. If I gave up, I wouldn't be here right now. My story is still being written, but I wouldn't be here without determination, stubbornness, my family, and my friends. I've come to realization that I'm still me, the same Anthony I was before the accident. Just like in tumbling, you have to fall in order to learn. Thank you.